Dire team ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Fabulous game. I hope that you guys are as excited as I am. I'm Lyrical Dota, joined today by Moppack. Sir, how are you doing, and are you thinking we're getting anything different so far in this game?
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised there just wasn't an Nature's Prophet ban. Not even just because very well for them, but it is a very top tier hero right now in the meta. It opens up plenty of options for your team. It's a little bit versatile, like we've seen some late lane. I've seen some like 4-role prophets, and of course the offlane one being one of the better ones. But if you know that they can play it, I'm okay with getting rid of it. But I believe it's the exact same 4 bans. Just gonna be the Earth Spirit Io, and then the Bounty Hunter and the Bat Rider.
Reserve time.
Outworld Devourer.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Have the side that they're more favorable for, and of course OD on Dire side, it always has the danger of being able to pick up that quick Roshan, as long as you've got somebody who can tank it with that arcane orb.
Yeah, it's true. They can just do so much damage into that Roshan. It's one of the kind of underrated parts, honestly, about the hero. But okay, the green team. Extremists want it for themselves this time.
Yeah. This is a lineup that I feel like we've seen a billion times over. The other one that is pretty common, I want to say, is Enchantress with a Beastmaster and sort of a dual aggressive offlane. And the thing about it that's so effective is that the Enchantress doesn't necessarily have to stay in lane with the Nature's Prophet. Can kind of do that sort of roaming, jungly typey build where it's hanging out towards that upper side of the map in general, where you can rotate in towards the mid lane, try to make a few things happen. If it doesn't quite work out, then you rotate back out, you go to the other side. Against an OD, it's a little bit sketchy because he can't obviously burst through those creeps that much quickly with the arcane orb, but I kind of like this. You know, you pick up a satyr, you go to the different lanes, and you try and harass a little bit. And particularly if you're able to get one of those satyrs, it can completely and totally change the dynamic of a wave, an entirely a lane even. So
yeah, and then Arena Pro Team, they're gonna answer right back with that Faceless Void. Of course, a pretty big combination there with the OD, just somebody to hold people in place. Well, he can feel free and right-click. Speaking of which, that Oracle, it is still in the pool. It was something that they picked up in the first game, paired up very well with their Invoker. We saw a lot of good plays, a lot of big saves, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see that come out for them in the next phase. And honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it banned. And that is that's an Alchemist ban. That's a little bit unusual.
Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Radiant team pick.
Lion.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, quick fingers could make all the difference here for Extremist. That perfectly placed Chronosphere is going to be able to help OD just go to town. Like, there's just... Like, it's just one of the saddest things to see when an OD is just not stunned up, not locked down, and he is spreading the enemy. Just depressing. He gets stacks some int, dumps the ulti right inside that Chronosphere, and telling you the fight's just over. And, Oh, who? They haven't gone for a mid. None of the classic, like get to survive against an OD mids are banned out either. So I don't know if they want to commit to a carry and give away the fact. Like I feel like they kind of want to see Extremist mid first before they decide if they want to send this OD to the safe lane or into the mid. Kind of leave that last carry spot open for themselves. If they wanted to even go for like honestly, I kind of hated Void when it first showed up, but the more I saw it, the more it kind of grew on me in the way that it allows you to control up some of those more annoying supports like a Lion and Enchantress via the Chronosphere. Like you actually target them instead. And then Sven cleans up everybody else with his own Stormhammer to control down some of the bigger players and take them down. No Witch Doctors. Weird.
Yeah.
Instead,
well, I think this makes some amount of sense. Like, you have to deal with the fact that, the nature's prophet there. If you think about the way that, the Witch Doctor stuff works in terms of being able to contend with Enchantress, like, there's always the threat of just running into a ton of treants with those cask bounces, and then you're not really doing what it was intended to do. So I like a sort of directed approach, a laning stage response. And of course, her ultimate, syncs up fairly well with the Faceless Void. And right now, it's mainly just the Lion that's going to be able to, contest that, at least for the moment. But I do kind of like what you said there also about, being able to run the OD in either the mid or the safe lane. One thing that I'm wondering about, and again, we don't have a ton of, data right now on Acion Arena, but they could end up going for something like a Drow strat to counter the aggression that's coming out from the side over here of Extremists. It's something that, particularly in this region, I found a lot of the teams tend to be willing to, reach into their back pocket and go for one of those types of strats, and it's something that works really well with Faceless Void.
Yeah, they love their Drow Ranger. Big thing from this region. The other thing that I was thinking we were going to see today would be some like mid PL or something, and well, they're going to grab for the Extremists. So
interesting.
No, but Saul call. It's always nice to be able to just switch that. I guess flip the switch would be the proper term. But you have the Enchantress, you have the Nature's Prophet, and now it's going to be able to help out whatever mid laner you're going to throw up too, right? So you'll see it done up against the OD just to help out whoever you're going to put in there, be it an Invoker, be it a Puck, anything like that to help out and make that a little bit better. And considering all the right-click damage they have, I kind of am for Extremist if it's not banned out.
No, I think that would be pretty good in conjunction with everything else that they have. They have a ton of damage, as you said, but not a ton of lockdown and control. And I do like the Draw Ranger against the CM too. That the Gust being able to break that ultimate, and in general, you do have to worry about late game Faceless Void being able to jump in on top of that Drow and break through that passive ability that she has, and then set up the OD for just all of the ridiculous amount of damage that he has. So I don't know if I'd necessarily say that they're on a clock with this sort of hero pairing that they have, but certainly I do feel like Extremists are gonna want to be aggressive early. And the Earthshaker ban, it makes a 10% sense to me, but I'm still a little bit worried about potentially something like a Winter Wyvern coming to left field, because it's something that works really well against this type of strategy. Turning your opponents against themselves, and then also being able to have that massive nuke. And they do ban out the Puck, so good call there in terms of making sure that they're out of there. So they're gonna need to go for something else, maybe a Lina potentially.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they need some sort of a stun. And okay, that's your big AoE stun, I guess. We're gonna dump the ulti right on top of them. I like that. We saw that at Shanghai actually for reasons. It was like the counter Enigma. It was like, we'll slap this on top of them. We got this. And last support, huh? Okay. Honestly, wish I was kind of looking okay, but you'd like the Winter Wyvern. It is pretty solid. It's been very unsuccessful the games I've been watching lately, but I mean, it's that ulti, man. It's just so much sadder than it used to be.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Sand King.
I've raised some more questions. Is the push going to come before Sand King can get that Blink Dagger up? And they've got two somewhat, not necessarily greedy support, but supports that can go and do that jungling. So I don't know about this right now for ACA.
Yeah, it's a lot of it depending on like how aggressive they might want to get from Extremist. Coming out of that Radiant side, yeah, or I suppose they're gonna be on the Dire this time. Man, I hate it when it goes away. It used to be so simple. Is it not always top and bottom anymore? I don't even know.
Yeah,
All
it
right,
is.
so they are gonna be. All right, we're good. So that's what I was thinking because they went with the Enchantress. So you can do that dual offlane with the Nature's Prophet, and it just works so much better on this side that
Prepare
I don't
for
think
battle.
you're gonna get away with like a solo Drow or anything. I don't think that's gonna be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So not too much mad greed. I like that the main can still like chill here though and take advantage of this camp and still help out. You know, maybe options.
Oh yeah, definitely. Again, it does sort of raise the question of how this Sand King is going to deal with needing to get the farm to get up his first item. Whether we end up seeing that be, you know, potentially even just a value Aether Lens first. I think I've seen a couple of pro players do that from time to time, and it works fairly well. The early boots would sort of indicate that he wants to roam around. The 2 clarities also available for him. But regardless, we'll do a quick little introduction for the players here on the side of ACA. It's going to be Fly Solo on the Sand King, moving towards that mid lane. G on the OD. We've got Gabby playing the Gyrocopter, as well as Acion, who's going to be on the Crystal Maiden. And last but not least, Emberloo, who's going to be playing that Faceless Void. And what about those fine folks down there in the southwest side of the map?
Oh, let's go ahead on the Lion. It'll be mad. Gonna go onto the Enchantress. So leveling it up at least a little bit. And QZ is gonna be on the Drow Ranger. Sicky gonna be on the Warlock, and then way back in base, getting that nice little summon off so they can get the regen from the fountain. H God on the Nature's
Battle
Prophet.
begins.
Well, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup to see. Again, OD against Warlock, not something that you see all the time, but I think that he can probably do fairly well. I mean, you look at Warlock's base damage right now; he's doing 70 pop with that Drow Venge or the Drow Aura. It's pretty tremendous. And then he's also got the DOT that comes in from the Shadow Ward. So those are the couple of things that are really going to sort of trouble the OD, I think, throughout this laning stage to some extent at least. It is still a worry because, you know, it is just a base int hero, but if the Enchantress ends up getting a good creep here, which is a Centaur at least for the moment, not the best, you can sort of contest and help out in the mid lane without sapping away experience, which is the main problem that you end up running into with these dual mid strategies.
Yeah, and you can see the positioning, and looks like, wow, the Crystal Maiden, she's not even gonna get all greedy. She's back up the same kind.
That is. That's
why
really
doesn't
nice.
this ever happen, you know? Oh, not gonna go for the double?
Yeah, it's a little bit sketchy. I think that there are ways to do it, but
You'd have
you
to
can
scale
kind
your
of go
Q,
for
I
it.
suppose.
Right, which is not necessarily what you want to do unless you like eat through the trees. But again, it's not really the play, I don't think. But so far, at least, doing a pretty good job in lanes, what you would expect coming out from the Radiant. And you take a look at the CS battle right now; they're having a pretty tremendous lead into their favor, and Salon is going to end up going for sort of the right clicks as well as the frostbites onto all of these creeps here, getting through them as quickly as possible, trying to get that level 2, but she's actually going to be out of mana right now, so has to finish off this last creep, but it's actually not gonna kill it. Like, she's not gonna be able to kill it quickly with the frostbite, and it won't even give her level 2, I don't think.
Yeah, she got like the worst camp just because she's backing up the other one for the Thinking, so like you can't benefit from a Satyr or from the Centaur, so you don't get the early level 2, so then you don't move into the Arcane Aura, so then you can't keep jungling. Like, gotta watch for that, you Crystal Maiden players out there. Make sure you're getting the max juggling possible. And then you have to just keep stacking every single camp as much as you can, and just always keep killing the big one. So there's still stuff left for the Sand King, but you're getting a lot out of it.
Well, and the problem too with this is, like, normally you'd end up seeing a Clarity get picked up for the CM, and with the Sand King sitting here to try and and he's gonna pass for Clarity. That was definitely necessary. This is pretty like horrendous start right now for the CM. Like at 2 minutes in, still level 1, so it doesn't have either only one of her nukes, but not even that really, because you know it's on such a low cooldown. They're gonna try to go for a kill here. It's just gonna be the frostbite that they have, as well as the burrow strike.
The range
Should
is
be able
so
to find
short.
the kill. Can they get it? They do end up stacking up stuns slightly, so a little bit unfortunate there. Shadow Ward keep him alive. Oh, and the boulder from the high ground gonna keep this buddy, Mr. Warlock, alive. Man, that was a little bit of a strange gank. I don't even know if that would have worked. Like, they needed to be able to get the stuns not stacked from the burrow strike and the frostbite with the G's right clicking the whole time.
Yeah, it seems pretty unlikely if you don't have those boots up on the on the OD, you know, to get like the proper positioning the whole time, and then obviously there are boots up on the Warlock, so he just runs himself away. I like the fact that he went Shadow Word when he saw.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It was necessary. I mean, that would have gone horribly if they wouldn't have been able to do that. And I mean, you look at the levels right here. I mean, the OD is at 4, but all of the rest of the Radiant is ahead of all of the rest of the Dire. Like, this laning stage has just been so difficult, and it's already almost a 2,000 net worth lead. They do end up being able to kill off the OD in the mid lane, just the slow DOT as well as the right clicks from the Warlock, and it didn't even matter. Like, they didn't even need to bring in the Enchantress with the smoke. It's first blood going his way, and like, you look at the net worth lead and the experience lead is just tremendous.
I mean, he's going for the Warlock build, the stats and the Shadow Word. Oh, and look at this Sentry Ward coming out from Mad.
Oh man, and that's
Chance.
actually gonna be able to kill it off. That's the Purge creep coming through and doing work. Oh, that Satyr Banisher is so strong, and now, I mean, they're not gonna be able to kill off this camp here. They have to wait for it, but still the block, like you mentioned, is huge. Warlock ultimate dropped?
It's 4 minutes.
What is even going on? Shadowbird is pretty close to being able to kill him. No, they end up being able to take it off at the last second.
Oh, the Golem.
Bottle is
Get
there.
him.
The movement speed 320 versus 315. It's not going to be enough.
Oh,
though.
it's
It looks
body
like,
blocked. They hit the Purge range, though.
very close. The chase forever is going to continue on. We have Enchant in 9 seconds. Yeah, they're going to have to cut off. The Purge creep does die. What is happening, though? It's 4 minutes in, and Warlock is level 6. Got the OD at level, not even 5 yet. Like, they're gonna take this mid tower, and this is the power of those Drow Ranger strats. It's not even necessarily just like the damage that you can, but the level advantage that you build based upon being able to outlane your opponents.
It's actually totally insane how much damage this Warlock does right now. Like, he's already known as one of the better, like, right-clicking supports. Is kind of where he started off, kind of like Witch Doctor, and then people like, you know, March was the biggest one on MVP side, bringing into the mid lane and the team in Korea, and then kind of their shtick for a while, but you've also seen he do in the past, and they always do this stats build where you're just so tanky, you do so much damage. He said 1,000 HP, and you just saw him dump that ultimate.
And I mean, the fact that you can get it that early too. Oh, and they're going after G again. Just one more Shadow Word, a slightly BM one. I mean, it's not even necessarily going to be a kill here. It's just sort of consistently making sure his laning stage is a problem. And up in the top lane, they've been able to catch the Sprout and Gabby. He does eat his way out of there. I thought that they were going to maybe go for it with the Wrath, and they're still trying to kill him off, and they be ever so slightly overextending as the Gyrocopter kills off the NP. So tit for tat, we're seeing it go back and forth. I mean, that's an 800 gold kill that comes off right there, but it's still a 4,000 net worth lead and 2,000 experience. If this translates into it at any given point in time, a team fight, like, Sand King isn't even close to being able to deal with this.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, Raph just gonna be up in time. I don't know, I wasn't too concerned. I was like, well, you know, they're gonna be busy applying pressure to the other lanes, the Nature's Prophet and the Enchantress. Like, he should be relatively okay, but yeah, there's this block helping out, the jungling not going so well helping out, the mid lane getting crushed helping out, bottom lane starting to get destroyed. Faces Void, he's also just cracking 5, so the Chronosphere is pretty far away.
Yeah.
Game not going as easy for ACA.
Well, and I mean, he gets some experience obviously from these creep dying, but they're not dying that much because you've got Drow Ranger with the Ring of Aquila that's up and ready to go, and so like they kill off one creep every now and then. Oh, the Hex forward, this is going to be such a problem. Earth Spike goes through Shadow Wave, and the Silence just completely destroyed. He got 135 experience before he was able to get killed, and still not going to be anywhere close to that level 6. There's just nowhere safe on the map right now. The only place that's safe is wherever these people are not, and that place is already being farmed. And it's just, they don't have any D-push right now. Like, they can't stop it.
I mean, they got the rock. I think he's just sitting here like, come on, come contest this. They're going to take probably this tower and the meteor too. They can't contest the goal right now.
Ooh.
I don't even think it's worth dumping. Okay, now it's worth if they actually want to fight this.
Silence immediately, followed up with the stun. Gabby is dropping low. The Hex is committed. No Chronosphere, no nothing. CM's going to be able to walk away, but like, this is a tier 2 tower taken.
Like, that was just ridiculous. You can't do that. They should have known better than that. There's just no way that works out. Like, I don't care what you were... Like, if you don't have 5 heroes, fight that golem, right?
Are they literally about to try and go high ground right now? What do they do to stop them? Gyrocopter's dead and doesn't. He actually TP'd in to try and deal with it himself. He has a call down right now. They don't have a chronosphere up for another 300 experience. Like, this is a huge problem. They're going to be able to catch forward again. Fly solo dropping fairly low. The right clicks are there. They throw out the call down. QZ trying to run away. They find that kill. Fly solo actually was almost able to survive, but maybe slightly overextending. Should have taken the tier 2 towers instead. They've lost 2, might end up losing a little bit more. The Sprout try and turn it back around. It does look like it's going to be another dead hero as Warlock falls. And man, oh man. Yeah, I don't know.
They're throwing it right back. So, like, I understand the idea is that we want them to rotate back. We want them to waste their time. We don't want them to be farming, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you don't have, like, do you even have boots on Eddie right now, honestly? Like, I guess, like, apparently they do, but they can't get away. The call down. There is not much catch, but there's enough. That was so unlikely, like such a low percentage play to why bother walking up on that high ground. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, totally. I think that the play there was just to try and like back out whenever it felt like it was a little bit too dangerous, but they didn't realize that it was dangerous before it was too big of a problem. And you know, we're getting closer and closer here. Fly Solo is trying to save up for that blink. Oh, Sneaky maybe in a little bit of trouble. They throw the Chronosphere as well onto 2, but the cooldown's not goofed up with it. They do end up being able to get the epicenter off, and that's going to be able to finish off 1. Lion does go down, still chasing after the Warlock, still alive for the moment. Can they finish any of these guys off? Mad's still alive, but 3 are already dead. And man, ACA have completely turned this one back around just because of the overextension by Extremist. They wanted to end this game too quickly, and now that you've got these level 6s up, they're in a really bad spot. Like, they have to use the Warlock ultimate to be able to fight, and I don't know. This is starting to turn back around for them.
Yeah, they are crumbling under the pressure of like being a Drow strat and feeling like you need to get a lot done. Now these bigger items are coming in, a couple of value items, getting that cloak up, done for the gyro, and I gotta say that haste run also was pretty huge. It allowed them to totally run down the with 0 consequence, so you know, possibly a little bit unfortunate there for the side of Extremist, but now it seems like it's their turn. The ultis are down. Maybe Extremists can start to bring things back together because they have their own ultis up.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about this chrono for another minute.
Well, and I think that that's what they're going to have to play around at this point. I mean, you got... and I don't think it's going to be an issue for them to do it, the side of ACA, because you're going to have Sanity's Eclipse, which is available, you're going to have Fly Solo's Epicenter, which is available, and now they have enough net worth on these heroes. Core items are up and available, so they can start to pressure the other lanes. And you are going to see Extremists push along this top lane here. They've got Warlock Ultimate available of their own. But it's still a little bit scary because you're not going to be able to pressure high ground. So they just need to probably try and take this as quickly as possible and see if they can come back to defend the tier 2 tower mid of their own. If they push up to high ground again, I don't know if it's the proper idea. I guess that's
they have Golem this time at least.
Yeah.
No fear. Suffer no consequence.
It all comes down to initiation, how this goes. If they're going to be able to find a solo one or not. They still have Chronosphere available, so, you know...
You need to bait them outside the base this time with the rock. Like, let them chase and then dump rock on top of them.
Yeah.
Chrono, though,
did pretty good.
Smoked up. Oh, ho, 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 they don't know. They don't know.
The wraparound Fly Solo looking for it. He catches 2 with the Chronosphere. No rock right now. They're going to be able to finish off the Lion. They do Epicenter through with the Burrow Strike also followed in up. They end up being able to go for the CM ulti. She does fall down, call down, as well as the rock in the midst of everybody saying Eclipse. No more mana on any of these heroes, and I don't know if they're going to be able to first finish them off. Oh my god, Void gets away off of nothing. OD does go down there. And they still have Drow Ranger up and available. Fly Solo trying to run away. I don't think they did enough damage. I think that they're going to be able to start to pressure this.
Yeah, you got to kill the Warlock. That ulti gets off, like, the fight is just totally lost. So it was a nice chrono, but the only problem was the rest of the team wasn't in that position because early on, like, they're over here, and it was a great smoke play, but you really need everybody on top of them, or chrono just not going to be able to do enough. Killing Lion, not going to cut it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that again, it's holding high ground at this point. As long as they don't lose that, then they're going to be okay. And it does look like now they're going to have to be able to sort of contend with another push here in the mid lane. They're not going to have the Warlock ulti this time around. They aren't going to have Epicenter or the majority of the side on ACA either. Like they have Call Down, which should be able to keep them out for the moment. Oh, Bro Strike, a lot of trouble there. They end up being able to get the time dilation off as well. QZ dropping low. Can they finish him off in time? He's going to run off the other direction, still giving that bonus horror to everybody. The right click damage is going through. He does fall down to that CMQ and maybe going to be able to finish off the Lion, barely alive for the moment. Sans keeping him there. They do end up killing both the Lion and the Warlock at the last second. Mad is trying to run away. Nature's Attendants keep him alive for the moment, but the Burrow Strike and the final right click from that Faceless Void has finished them off. 4 are dead, and Nature's Prophet had to go back home to lick his wounds, but well played indeed there.
Oh man, that Blink Dagger. Guys, I got it. Win the game now, so no Epicenter required. Some nice Burrow Strikes, and the max points in the Sandstorm honestly did a ton of work there. Like, just the way this engagement took place, there was nowhere to go. They're just stuck tight in the trees. It was like the best possible scenario for the Sand King.
Yeah.
No backing away there, and again, just like Ascension with no ultimates. It just seems like you think they get it by now. Like, what happens when we have the Rock? Depends when we don't have the Rock.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. Gotta shape up, boys.
They need more Dwayne Johnson in their life, that is for sure. Well, you can see now that the difference in terms of team net worth, it's almost back about towards 0 with ACA ahead in terms of experience, and Roshan probably on the menu pretty shortly here. They do have 25 seconds before that chaotic offering is going to be back up and available. But with only one more tier tower left to go, it does feel like this game is probably going to be wrapping up one way or the other fairly shortly. And, you know, if Extremists are able to take this next Roche convincingly and also go down mid lane and win a team fight, they probably come close to winning the game. Likewise, if AC are able to repel them and keep them back for the moment, then I think that they pretty much just take it. Do you think that the ACA should try and take this team fight here around Roche?
Yeah. I mean, they have everything up and available. This is what you want. I want to see a Veil. This is what I really want from them. Roy decided to bring this. Oh, the big boy.
They found him. They're going to be able to go for it. He gets the rock off in the end. I don't know if it's going to be enough. There's no more follow-up. He also got the fatal bonds off. So much damage, actually. They're going to finish them all off. They kill everybody. 4 dead. Oh, the Warlock got everything that he needed them to. Huge plays across the board, and this should secure them, Roshan. I don't know if it's enough to be able to turn it back around and go for a tier 2 tower, though. That might be the only issue. Holy man, that was really close.
That was sick.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, God.
That's like the one-man show right there. Crazy.
Well, and the 3-person cuss, too.
They can't even chain it together to stop it. All they have is Burrow Strike and Frostbite, and it's just not enough consecutive stuns.
Yeah. Well, it felt like, I mean, like you said, just there's nothing to be able to disable them long term through this. They don't have that Lion. They don't have the other heroes. And I really love this play right now by Extremist. You know, they've recognized what's gone wrong in the last couple pushes. They're going to lose this Satyr right here to the Gyrocopter, unfortunately. That was really close to being able to catch out the Sand King as well. But again, it does feel like they're recognizing, okay, we need to wait until the next 90 seconds are up, and then we're going to push. And this, to me, feels like it might be the moment. It might be the moment where they can take back control of this game. They're ahead in terms of net worth and, you know, experience. They've been able to build into several items that are going to put themselves in position to win. Warlock probably is not going to be able to finish off the Aghanim Scepter by the time this push goes, but they've at least bought themselves maybe even one more push after this one.
All right. What do we do here? What do we need?
I don't know, man. It's a struggle, honestly. It's a game that's so determined, I feel like, just based upon your execution and finding the proper angle, that probably the most important thing is going to be wardage and vision.
Yeah, that's the Atos is just like that's pretty rough. I understand because it's gonna make you a little bit tankier. Maybe it'll be enough that if they can, you know, start to win these fights down, but you do kind of feel like they need that control element or just the complete magic burst. Like, I really want to see this Veil. What on earth? All right, that is A new one. The
What's that
Blade
one?
Mail Anti-Warlock. Okay, alright. Live with that. Good against the Drow. Let's get up on top. It's all a very high damage lineup and low pain, so
Huh.
the worst concept. Still gonna be way better than a Vlad's in this scenario. I wouldn't mind seeing a Blink though.
It kind of it brings up the point to me, at least, that, you know, where is it that you're going to end up finding that extra bit of damage? Like, I guess nobody's going to be getting a BKB anytime soon, so that kind of makes sense. I don't know. It definitely feels foreign, and it does look like you're going to maybe be getting your wish, as the Crystal Maiden's going to be going back for a Veil now. But yeah, at least for the moment, things sort of standing pat. Do you think that he goes for the Blink next on Faceless Void? Is that probably the option?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say so.
Well, we'll see. BKB now completed on Gyro. That helps a lot. Again, the stuns. Mr. Warlock doesn't care a whole heck of a lot about it. And he's actually able to farm up. What's this coming out on the courier? It's the third component of his axe.
Oh,
So
it's
now,
so scary.
with Aegis proclaimed in 2 minutes, it's the time to strike. They're going to be moving in here, and I think that people probably realize what's going to be happening from the side of CA.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, well, execution. That is the name of the game. The ultis, Chronosphere.
Dire's middle tower has
They're
fallen.
actually
Line this up.
not in position right now. Oh, they're going for a pickoff. Thinking about going onto the gyrocopter, they do end up running right the heck on into Gabby. He pops his BKB and is going to end up going for the TP away. Can they find the kill? No, the impetus shots are going to still fly through, but not enough to finish him. So, interesting. They're really opting, instead of just going for the barreling down mid approach, to try and play this a little bit more carefully.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
well,
tower
all
is
tier
under
2s are already down, so there is the potential that if you totally destroy them at one Rax, that you might be able to rotate for the second, but honestly, it's sub 20 minutes. I feel like the respawn timers are going to be fast enough that it's not going to matter too much what the other position of the lanes are. Go.
Dire's structure
Tower is already down pretty low. OD's in the area, and again, that mana drain, 40%, always proccing, is so important in these fights. They end up being able to get the silence. BKB charge has already been popped with Gyrocopter, and actually power dropping fairly low. You have to be careful with this. 30 more seconds before BKB is going to be up on the Gyro, and the tier 3 tower is almost down already. All they need is that secondary creep wave to come on in. Again, Sand King is not there, but a super mobile hero able to get into position very quickly. Faceless Void off to the side as well, does have the Chronosphere available, but not presenting an opportunity, does go for the time dilation, still waiting. QZ on an island, alone for the moment. Warlock is there, they drop on down the rock, able to get the stun off as well. Everybody's dropping, the Fatal Bonds did so much work there, they're still doing a ton back around the other way though. Sim ulti is going, able to kill off another there. Nature's Prophet went down to it, Gabby's still alive, right clicks are coming, they ended up buying back on the Nature's Prophet, and he's immediately back into it, trying to go after Gabby. The right clicks are there, can they finish him? No, he's going to be able to TP away, but that's already one barracks down. They get the Burrow Strike as well as the TP away. They're fine for the moment, but again, that was a pretty big initiation there, and they are going to lose a Rax for it, so pretty big gold exchange going their way into the favor of ACA, but they lose a Rax. Oh man, and those are some big items.
Yeah. It's like their one chance, it seems, to have still like a pretty decent shot at winning this game. Now it's definitely gone into the longer term, like 40 minutes from now kind of feel, but they, how do you fight into that? Like, if you don't have the Blink Dagger on the Faceless Void, you don't want to commit the Chronosphere until you have the Aegis down already, so you can kind of wipe the whole thing. You know you need to kill the Warlock, but he's standing so far back, and the second he saw danger, the second he just saw 3 heroes close enough for chains, he was like, yup, that's the go call. Time to head on in there and just win the game. And don't know what you can do. Warlock is a very difficult hero to deal with at this point when he's gotten just so much of the lane. And the Agnum Scepter, sub 20 minutes, like,
Yeah.
what now, really?
Absolutely. I mean, well, and I guess that sort of does bring up the question, do you think that Extremists are going to feel comfortable with this stage to try and just go straight for another push as soon as Chaotic Offering with Agnum Scepter is going to be up, or do you think they wait for the next Aegis? Because it's already, you know, gone down for the Drow Ranger, and she has BKB, so maybe they feel more confident? What are your thoughts there? Is it sort of worth it to try and chance it, or do they just wait for that next Aegis?
I think you just go. You don't want any more items coming up from them. You don't want like the Blink Dagger maybe coming from the Void. Looks like he's actually gonna go back for that Vlad's, at least for now. And you don't want any bigger items out from the OD or even that Veil. Like it can have an impact as these start to get more. I would just like go chaotic offering.
Well, it looks like they're feeling comfortable, maybe going for it. H-God gonna pressure in. He's got a whole heck of a lot of people right behind him, and there's always the option. It's the other thing that's crazy about this is that it's not really like Extremist draft has to win right now. I really don't think that they have to. It would just be if they got like 5-man team wipe against them. That's pretty much how they lose the game. But given that the Void has delayed this Blink Dagger for so long, and is going to be going for this Vlad's next, like I don't know. It feels like with initiation so important, maybe a bit of an oversight. But maybe also feeling like he has to get the blade mail up to try and contend with the burst damage that can come out from the other side. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the blade mail to try and give some sort of like offensive capability where he can like get in there and actually apply some damage on the team, because that's one thing that Faceless Void definitely lacks in the new like build. You kind of get in there, you chrono, you don't really do that much damage during the chrono. You get a time dilation off, which is cool against the Lion. It's okay against even like the Nature's Prophet and the Enchantress. Or not going to be doing too much, of course, against like Warlock. Maybe for his Shadow, where he's clearly chaotic offering it. Fatal Bond's not really. And I see some Faceless Voids, they go for Blink Dagger in these snares. They're like, I want it from the high ground. Personally, I think that's my like more preferred build to sell. Even if I have to do like certain other items, make sure I have it for the big Chronosphere. It's kind of like the Shaker and the Echo to like setting for your team. But some people feel that so much about the chrono, it's more like you need to get these more items, you need to get things that are going to help with the rest of your team, get a decent chrono, and then just like, I don't know, try and bash it up, it seems.
Yeah. No, and I would agree that it does probably, like, with those two separate and disparate opinions, it's probably a bit of both, and it depends upon what the game is in particular. But it does, like, in this type of game, when you've got so many different ultimates online, that you need to be able to get that Chronosphere off. I guess the other approach that you could think about it with is that right now the other heroes don't have the best initiation items outside of the Sand King. Like if you think about CM, she's not getting into a great position to be able to ulti. Gyrocopter can play down the call down from pretty far away, and OD can throw out that Sanity's Eclipse. But if the Faceless Void does jump too far forward and you catch one Chronosphere, you have to be able to make it also do the damage with the rest of your ultimates. They jump forward now, going to be able to catch on again, dropping so low. The impetus shots are going to be able to do it, but they get the Astral off to defensively keep them alive for the moment. Meanwhile, Mad is just going to run away. It's a good shot. Like, if they find that kill, that's pretty much game again, but it does like they're kind of stalling for the moment, not wanting to commit, and maybe they are waiting for that next Aegis. We're thinking he's taking shots. That sucks. Oh, the Gyrocopter hates to see that.
Yeah, there's no point not waiting for the Roshan, at least at this point, so just hang on. Probably hoping that there might be some extension from ACA. I wonder, are they smoking up? Try to contest this Roshan. Feel like we can't fight high ground anyway. Yup. Let's go.
That's probably a pretty good decision. I mean, again, like we've said 1,010,000 times, it's something that really has to happen, and they do have a team fight potential to deal with it. That being said, oh god, they're gonna run right into the line. He's gonna break their smoke. They spot him out. Oh god, no! They thought that they were in the Rose pit. Oh, Gabby. Oh, I think that they noticed, and now he throws out the Chronosphere. Isn't going to be able to catch on to 3, but they don't have the follow-up. They do have the Epicenter there, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. They get the turnaround with the rock on the other side, catches on to 4. I don't know if they have enough damage. It does look like Fly Slow is going to take a lot. G does go down. They don't kill off the Warlock there with the Sanity Eclipse, and the chase continues over to the side here. It is dropping low on the CM. They actually turn around with that missile chasing for the Drow Ranger, and the TP by Sand King means that he's going to be okay for the moment. Faceless Void trying to run away. What a freaking mess that team fight was. They're still chasing after him, and he does have another time walk away. Can they find him? TP. Oh, he's on the wrong side. That's going to break. That's going to kill, and that's going to no more Faceless Void. So Roshan going down. Oh, big team fight. Ultimates were committed for that.
It felt close. I mean,
yeah.
The Chronosphere wasn't bad. Of course, everyone, again, like the Blink Dagger, it feels like it would pay off more on a Faceless Void in those high ground scenarios where you can have everyone actually immediately start contributing, but they were so far away to actually capitalize on top of the Chronosphere that it was pretty difficult to finish that one off, and the Warlock not being inside again. The rocks get off. There's just no way. And I don't even know if they can kill the golems.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I agree. OD does burn through them fairly quickly. The big problem with this that I do see is they might have to wait for another, like, Warlock ulti. It looks like they're feeling comfortable going up here. I don't know if this is the play. Again, they burn through the chaotic offering. They jump forward. Oh my god, what is happening right now? Hughes pops his BKB. They're running on in there. Seeki's going to drop, actually. I think that they might have overextended here. They're losing one. They might end up losing two. Astral onto somebody else. It does look like they're going to be able to catch them. The turnaround Burrow Strike. BKB is worn off. The CM ulti is going. Gabby's going to live. The H is going to go down. Oh, they're throwing it all away, and it does look like he is going to end up dropping here. Oh, man, that was... Oh, man.
All right, I'm going to get my coffee.
Moppax has had it. He's done. He's had enough. There've been some slight decisions and somewhat questionable. It does look like they're relatively equitable in terms of experience, but man, that's one of those moments where it's like, all right, do you end up going for the high ground without that big team fight ultimate? Now Void has a blink dagger. All of these items are going to come online. Oh man, Extremists.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I don't know. What do you think at this stage? Like, it feels like it's just been kind of a game of throws back and forth, and I don't know if there's necessarily one side that is really ahead. Like, right before that fight, I totally would have said Extremist, but now I don't even know.
Time is money.
Oh my god, he really did just go get his coffee. Well, that's fine. No problem at all.
I'm back.
How's it going, sir? I wasn't sure if you were being honest or not about
No,
that. You
I
did
was
good.
quite curious. I've been waiting. I was like, I made it in between game 1 and 2, and I was like, no, this will end, right?
Oh man. That was a little bit odd. I don't know about the decisions right there. I really don't.
It's just like, feels like they you know.
Yeah, no,
okay.
definitely.
He went for the blink dagger. I'm sure next is the refresher, so there's no more issues.
Yeah.
So we'll just have it twice.
Absolutely. Well, kind of interesting here as well. QZ looks to be going for an Aghanim Scepter. Right now on the courier, it's the Point Booster and Staff of Wizardry, just waiting for that one last spell. What do you think about this for the Drow Ranger?
It's like the first time I've seen it this early, honestly.
Yeah.
Seen it a couple times in like late game scenarios versus like super creep, because you want that cleave clearly, start pushing at the waves, but seems odd. Gonna be tanking you up a lot. Can't really deny that. It's gonna help out quite a bit against the like the freezing field, as well as just the like call down and everything, and the epicenter. So raw HP is definitely the play, and you're a Drow Ranger who did skill up Q, so you only need a Scotty. I guess it just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's definitely interesting. And against a lineup where they're going to be trying, like where you're going to be going for that maximum, just like, you know, DPS in a quick burst coming out from CQ with that, you know, Warlock ulti. If you get a little bit more AoE DPS with a little bit of Fatal Bonds action in there, they're just going to explode. I mean, the damage is still going to be there, the maximum amount with the, you know, double arrows fracturing off of it. It's great. Worth noting, by the way, that Warlock does have his ultimate up and online, and so because of that, with this Arcane Rune, this can really start to help out a lot as we get a little bit of a set called out. They need to wait for a second.
All right, what's the play here? Blank, we have that Eggs, of course. Big Wombo combo from the SK. Okay, all right, the Veil gets thrown down. Then there's the Glimmer Cape into the. Do they have anything that goes to the Earth Spike? Then, of course, just the Rock itself. So that's how they can cancel out a Glimmer Cape CM. That's pretty important.
Yeah.
Rock goes down, and Earth Spike, you know, generally used pretty early.
Yeah. The other thing to keep in mind about this is kind of cool is the caustic finale damage. It's going to be amplified as well. So you get a slow down onto everybody with all of these other slows that they have in conjunction and a Chronosphere. Like if you do get a nice Aghanim Scepter upgraded ultimate, or rather Burrow Strike forward, that's going to be a decent chunk damage. I mean, you know, 45 damage off across like 3 heroes. That's what, 135 damage, and then you amplify that a little bit from the veil. It's, you know, it's a relatively decent sized nuke, and the nice slow off the back of it. It's pretty relevant.
Yeah, especially because the slow doesn't fail. So even level 1, he's still getting the 30%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that definitely can be good, and Drow does have that Agnum Scepter up and ready to go now, so we'll see how the effectiveness of it goes. Again, I think it really comes down to this Warlock ulti. If he's able to get a good one off while Drow is right-clicking heroes, they are going to completely and totally explode, because the damage does actually increase really significantly. Because you end up being able to get, you know, essentially 3 extra hits. So every one of them with those fatal bonds on top of heroes, it's like you're right-clicking them 3 times, and then you amplify that damage across multiple heroes as well. So it's kind of unique synergy, but the question is, are they going to be able to make it work?
Does he miss silence on the face as well? Blade mail.
Turn it back around. The rock is dropped. The right clicks are there. They're going to be able to get off a lot of damage. Chronosphere onto 3, though, with the call down. Oh, all of the conks are dead. There's the CM ulti as well. They popped the BKB, but the Warlock is dead. QZ is dead. Everybody's dead. 4 are gone, and the only one left alive is that Lion. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
All right. I just don't even know.
I mean,
got obliterated.
It's something where, like, the Chronosphere, we talked about the importance of it, and have Extremists missed their window? Come back from this at this point with the Ag or with the Drow Ranger? Like, do they need an Aegis? What's the answer here?
I think the problem is they don't really have like that nice. They have no way of getting good vision on the high ground, which is creating a lot of problems for them because they're committing with the golems first, which means you can't get the fatal bonds off
Radiant's middle tower is
4.
under attack.
And the big idea is that with the dagger, it's like positioning for immediate blink in, chains, ulti. At least that's what I feel like it's for. The chains just add so much damage.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Off here. Uh-oh. Oh, that's good. Spotted.
Solo off. Oh man, they wanted to do something.
No.
This is a problem right now. They're running in, and again, it was a question that I kind of had that Arcane, maybe it baited them into going before the Aegis was back up again, and because of that now, I mean, you're seeing the pressure down mid. Like, there's about to be a butterfly up on Gyrocopter. What do you do now?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's an issue. Yeah, it's not a great answer, honestly. That's really the whole reason that I'm bringing it up, because like, you've got the other thing that I always hear people talk about when they talk about Dota 2 games with the change with Blink Daggers is that if you get a secondary, ooh, nice little jump away there by the Sand King. If you do get a hero that has a Blink Dagger, each additional Blink Dagger afterwards is so much more effective because you're able to keep up with the rest of your squad. Fly Solo in a little bit of trouble now, but they're going to jump on it. Impetus damage is out there. Oh, OD might have overextended. They're maybe going to be able to find him here. Can they break the TP? They are going to be able to escape, so it doesn't end up mattering. But they do find 1 kill at least, and they are going to have, you know, the Agnum Scepter up again for Warlock.
Alrighty. Wait, where's this Refresher Orb, honestly?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Is he going for BKB next, I guess?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that should have been the item maybe before the beak area, before the Blink Dagger, if that's... Oh, with the way it's been playing out, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pull roots and run.
It's been a weird game, that's for sure. A lot of item choices that I don't think either of us were expecting, which isn't necessarily to say that they're bad by any means, but it's unexpected. And I think that Faceless is probably, I would guess, saving for buyback, but do you kind of like Agnums next? Yeah,
like Faceless? No question, it's gonna be Eggs.
Okay.
It's gonna be so good. I would not finish the Vlads. I would just that Agnum Scepter because it means that they can always kill Extremist, like non-stop. They won't be able to be where they are on the map, I don't think.
Yeah.
Instead of just non-stop chrono, being able to chrono. Because right now you're worried that like if he chronos you, you don't care because it means you high ground.
Right.
Got him now though.
Yeah, they're over in the mid lane, gonna be able to jump onto him, and Blade Mail popped, but no avail. The little tee-hee coming out from Enchantress, God, that's almost as bad as ho-ho ha-ha. It's just slight little PTSD coming out regardless.
Yeah.
Warlock's moving in. He's got his phase boots. He's ready to go. It's a boot time. QZ running away. BKB ready popped. Right clicks onto G. Still fine for the moment. Fatal Bond's available if they want to try and initiate with that, but no BKB for the moment. Might means he gets stunned up. Do they end up being able to get it? They have a nice little stun out there. Oh, but Ziki, do you end up being able to get it off? The right clicks are there. Is it going to be enough damage though? Gabby caught out. They end up able to catch 2 in the Chronosphere. Matt is one of them, but the freezing field is going to let it go. Can they finish her off? They are going to be able to kill her. Meanwhile, the jump through, Agnum Scepter upgraded Burrow Strike. They kill off the Warlock. Now chasing further forward. Matt ends up killing off one. They've lost the Drow Ranger though, and now after losing only the CM, I think that ACA are going to take this one. They're doing so much damage here, even though she's got that touch going. No TPs away, no nothing. That's going to be another kill. Again, Nature's Prophet survives, but man, this gyrocopter is getting huge.
Okay, how long do you think that freezing field went off for? Like, what, 2.5 seconds maybe? Maybe a second and a half? It wasn't that long. Did about 1,200. That's so absurd.
Yeah,
how underrated that ultimate is.
It really is, and I mean, I lost the ability to check out the stuff afterwards, but particularly those 2 points in it. That's not something that you often see because of the incredibly high mana cost that it ends up going up to. Like, you can't cast a ton of your other spells, but if you've got the combo there with the Faceless Void, why not? Yeah,
she basically contributed, like, you know, a major portion of the damage. The OD didn't get anything off of that fight, really wasn't even required.
Yeah.
And the Gyro and the Sand King, though, they front of it, and thanks to that buyback from him, they will still take a big EXP lead. And now the Aegis.
I will say, they're having a little bit of fun here. G just went for the Astral onto OD to make sure that he didn't end up taking the Aegis, and then afterwards the Faceless jumped over and time dilated him, so really showing off who's boss here between the off lane and the mid positions. Regardless though, it feels like they're having fun. They're in a position where they feel comfortable with the lead they've been able to build, and you know, why not? They're potentially going to knock right now out a team that got invited to this and over them. Certainly be feeling good if I was them. At least poise on the position, make it happen.
Like, I'd be like so salty after the first game, but if I'm Extremist, I'm just like kicking myself this game. Like, yeah, we screwed up. Like, we pushed way too deep. We made the mistakes this game. There's no cheese. You know, there were no tricks, no rat Dota. They tried to drow, and they're being punished so hard. Now I'm like trying to think of what they got to do to win. Like, they still have lots of map control. They've still been keeping the lanes relatively pushed. The Agnum Scepter, like, maybe that's another possibility. We saw how much it did the last game, but Sand King, so Main can't do too much against them, honestly. Gets a little bit rough, but Gyro, you know, you definitely have that KLD, and you'd be happy to get a mail after that Agnum Scepter eventually comes. Did finish the Vlads.
I mean, they've also got a lot of like the great items to deal with what ACA are bringing their way. Like, you've got BKBs up on the Drow Ranger, you've got Pipe up on the Enchantress, you've got, you know, BKBs. You have 3 BKBs in this game on the side of the Radiant, and worth noting, you know, the BKB's down to 6 seconds now for Drow Ranger, but it's still something that's there. You gotta be aware of it. Oh, is he just gonna die right here? What is going on? All right, they end up being able to drop the rock down on the other side. They throw out the crow though, and oh, with the DD'd up gyrocopter, everything is going down. They're all gonna end up dying. Oh, Lion goes down. The double buyback immediately, but they have no control now. The best thing that they have is a Sprout. They get the silence off. It is gonna be able to do a lot onto G. Can they turn it back around? Are they gonna make this happen? They end up throwing out the Frostbite now onto HGod, still chasing a secondary CM ulti, but nobody is there. They've actually been able to catch them right on the edge. That's gonna be a dead Nature's Prophet. Dieback for him. They're chasing with the homing missile. Oh, rather not. No, it wasn't a dieback for him. He just now bought back. So they're probably back out at this stage, considering they were able to force 3 buybacks, as well as kill off a couple of their heroes. Oh man, 7,000 net worth swing off the back of that one. It does look mad, almost goes down for it. The counter initiation, CM is here, oh, silenced up, just barely able to get away. They get the Astral off onto the Drow Ranger, continuing the chase, still silenced now, trying to run away. A secondary Frostbite, is she gonna go down and kill off one? They kill off 2, double kill for Mad. That was needed. Oh man.
Well, I mean, at least most of them got out. We'll still count it as a retreat play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, the CM, like, she really wanted to be able to save the OD there, and it's worth noting that they still have, actually, they don't have buyback on the CM, but I don't know if that really matters too much. Like, Rock is down, they can't really push super well. And again, the net worth and experience leads are just tremendous at this stage, and that's translating into real items. I mean, on these heroes, you've got, Scotty that's been completed on the gyrocopter, Sanj and Yasha still sticking with slowly that Talisman of Evasion, hasn't committed yet to the full butterfly, but it's just so hard to deal with it.
Well, I imagine the ultimates are back. Once again, for it, and with all these buybacks on cooldown, it'll be, well, let's see. So, Stanking will actually have his back, Void will have his back, obviously from the major defense, but about 5 minutes away from now, buybacks on the Radiant. Gotta imagine that next push is gonna be relatively scary. Now, do they have the cheese? No, that was also lost. So, cheese and Aegis both down. Okay, big plus, right? Maybe, Xtrmst will be able to, bring them down. It's all on those chains, honestly. If Fatal Bonds just hits everybody, you can win fights still.
But that's the thing about it now, that because ACA have all these blink daggers, they've got the ability to stay away from the main central people. It's kind of like a reverse slow siege against the low ground, basically. Like, you're holding off with just the gyrocopter or, just the OD there, and then as soon as all of the stuff is thrown out, they can go forward and jump onto whoever it is that moves up towards high ground. And, like the super mobile Sand King at this point, blinking and initiating from, 2,600 range essentially is what he can do with the blink and its burrow strike. I don't think that they really have to worry about being caught out altogether anymore. It's kind of, it is really just essentially like a reverse slow siege of the low ground.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't have that Maelstrom yet. Going for that Manta, so getting those defensive items, it's understandable.
Yeah.
Wondering, I want to see like the chain lightning going,
Oh yeah, it's some good stuff.
Pew 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 pew.
It's the dream, but maybe for the moment at least gonna just stick with that staying alive dream, which is a pretty good one to have as well. But it's worth noting, like, the other thing there is that you don't have the Aegis, which is probably the last piece for Extremists that they really need to make this work. Aegis Prophet's pushing along the high ground here, so there's kind of a chance for like a backdoor thing, base race, if Drow Ranger can build up enough net worth to get Boots of Travel. But that's even a little bit too hard to do, I think. But that feels to me like the main way that they could potentially win this at this stage, because I don't know if they're gonna be able to hold off against this push that's on their own high ground.
It just has to be a big mistake, like some sort of really big error that allows the big fatal bonds.
Alright, well, they go forward. They're able to get the Shadow Word off, and Drow Ranger clearing out the creeps with her little Manta-style illusions. Pretty nice, and again, tier 4 towers starting to be pressed in by these Ancients. Immediately going to be taken care of by Solo. They do end up catching in the mid lane, though. Going to be able to go immediately onto this Faceless Void, and he is going to end up falling, so a nice little play there. Able to make it work.
Yeah, that's really big, actually. That was 500 gold that he also lost, so he was closing in on that Agnes Center. Are they really going to lose this range racks to Treants? Okay. Drop of 50 HP.
Oh, man.
Close.
Yeah, and it's worth noting he does have buybacks, so 70 seconds, but still, maybe they can force something here. Roshan, it's probably going to be dead, or it's not going to be back up before 70 seconds. Yeah, they're Fatal Bondsing the creeps, just trying to push this as quickly as possible. There's actually kind of a nifty little move there from the Warlock. He was right-clicking the heroes up in the top lane, the ones that were showing on the maps, that way it would draw the aggro of the creeps so it could move them quickly to the base. Like next level,
that is
super
next
push
level,
strats.
like late game. It's like so late. Like how often does that happen inside the lane? Try to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Burrow Strike. Nice little play in the blink back.
I love this bitch. She's just always waiting. Just sees the Earth like go. Wait till the Warlocks are gone, and she's like, I'm getting in there with my Glimmy. I'm all.
Yep. There you go. Jump forward again, throwing down the rock, back by the Faceless Void, trying to look for his Chronosphere. Haven't been able to find it yet. They get silence off. Nicely played there. H-God is on top of them. Blade Mill is in full effect. They do get the epicenter off. QZ is going to end up going down. They need to buy back right now, but I don't know if it's going to end up being enough. They're still all caught up there. Chronosphere has not been committed yet. They end up killing them all off, and they don't even need the chrono. That has got to hurt. Everybody dead again, and they're not getting anything from these team fights besides, you know, the range rack, which was at that point on 50 HP.
Yeah, they didn't need, like you said, they didn't even need the chrono. They didn't even really need the freezing field because they finally cleaned off that Nature's Prophet right at the end. So you can really just see how far ahead they are, and not just obviously in the goal, but that experience, like peeking over the 20,000. This starts to count. It's like level 16, level 17 on the Crystal Base. They just have so much that they're able to contribute right now.
And I feel like the Radiant are just shocked into submission at this point. Like, this was supposed to be their game. This was supposed to be their comeback. They got somewhat, not necessarily cheesed out, but it was like you were saying, the Nature's Prophet loss and tier 4s.
They try to cheese their own, but too cheesy.
Too
That
cheesy.
Stinky cheese emote still work?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, no,
I haven't
nice.
no, they buy back on several heroes, and BKBs are popped, but it's to no avail. They throw on out the upheaval, so slowing everybody down. I don't know if it's really going to matter though. They're actually just back out. They're playing this so freaking carefully. They're going to counter initiate now onto the Lion. He just explodes. But they are playing so carefully. Tier 4s are being pressured. That's actually going to be a TP in by the Nature's Prophet. They could cancel TPs here. This could maybe turn into something. Possibly going for the Aegis. Are they going to be able to make this work? If the Aegis is actually dropping down. H-God is going for it. Can they make it happen? He's trying to slow him off as quickly as possible.
God.
TPs are coming in with the enchantments. They're trying to go for it. Can they right click it down quickly enough? H-God, do it for me one time, please. They're going for the epicenter onto Mad. The Ancient is falling. Can they finish this off? Everybody is right here. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill off the Enchantress. They're still pressuring off to the other side, and they've kept them out of their base. There's only one Rax down, and the Ancient is at 1500 HP. Mop Hacks, what the hell did you see?
I mean, you think I know? I don't know.
Nature's Prophet just bought back, and he's going up towards the top lane to pressure this in again.
Yeah,
They have
I mean, that's their
2 points.
that's their possibility. The only way this can come to fruition is like these creeps sitting in the base, and TP's in. Both of those plays.
And QZ can push out these lanes so quickly with this Manta style. Like, this is nuts. I don't even know. Again, the pings are there. They know where they want to go. And with Nature's Prophet buying back, I think that was a good decision. Like, you just have to be so careful against this rapier time for the gyrocopter. They have to make sure all of these creep waves are pushed out because he does a ton of damage.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. I will be shocked if Extremist managed to win this game. Like, when that bottom push went in, I was like, there's no way they're gonna win this. I got totally creamed. I was like, okay, like, and this is over. Like, there's no way. Something like that, and then the Aegis, or rather the throne, it's slowly regenning, you know, step at a time here. Well, 3 steps at a time to be precise.
Exactly, yeah.
Now
That's
Roshan. Okay, once they get that though, right? There's no way, right? Right? Can I say that?
Sure, you can say all you want. We'll see if it ends up working out or not. But again, you've got these points that are up. You've got such a huge net worth lead, 25,000 verging on 30,000 net worth, right around almost 40,000 experience lead, and you've got the pressure that's out along this top lane here. I don't even know. It's like it's one of those moments in time where what is actually going to happen, and you've got 5 heroes pushing along the top lane here. As soon as this happens, you're going to probably see Nature's Prophet go along the bottom lane and pressure that out. But if they get a creep in the base, I feel like they're just going to go for it.
And now they have this Aegis. I just want to see them like group up and just like go. And obviously Extremists have to contest this, but I feel like even these fights out in the open, they heavily favor ACA because the Chronosphere, I don't know, I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to make impactful than the Warlock Golems are, because the Golems don't do anything right now, like, at all. At least there's like a continued area of denial for the Chronosphere for the entire duration, whereas if you don't get that first initial stun on the Warlock, it's not going to be doing anything to help out these team fights, really.
Right. Well, definitely, and that's the thing. I guess the other idea is, like, at this point, because they've been able to take the tier 3 barracks, though, you talk about pushing out even along that top lane, every other lane can probably be pressured fairly quickly. I I mean, like right now, for instance, the gyrocopter, he's somewhat exposed. They've got the faceless void there behind him, so they kind of need to run with 2 or 3 at all times to push the creep waves out. And because of how quickly Drow can push out creep waves, and she has a blink dagger now, like all of these things start to work together where maybe there's a chance that they can, you know, pull a little bit of magic together. And Siki is hanging out up in the top lane here, ready to potentially jump onto this OD. They're thinking about maybe TPing on this.
I don't know, this ward is like triggering me though. Like, gotta de-ward your base.
Oh,
They know
yeah.
exactly where they are, and that's what's allowing them to push so deep with like zero worry about creation whatsoever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's one of those moments where you've got to be able to sort of at least understand what's going on across the map and make sure that the enemy doesn't. I'm kind of curious right now if I feel like Drow has to go for boots next, BOTs. And ACA is just playing a push-up creep waves game as much as possible. But like, look again in the lane right now. Gyrocopter completely and totally exposed. As far as other heroes that can get there quick, there are some, but like it's a little bit scary. Where if you have to pressure out all these lanes, you leave somebody available to get ganked.
And how do you even kill him? Honestly,
That's true.
he's so tanky. And until this MKB's up on the Nature's Prophet, even then it's only MKB Orchid. His other items are a BKB and a mech, so he's not exactly heavy right-click build.
Yeah. Well, and Acion is now regenning a whole heck of a lot. They're pressuring out the bottom lane, but again, with these tier 2s up and ready to go, they can keep them off there for the moment. Like, tier 3s are not in jeopardy yet, but based upon how much net worth this gyrocopter has, it's starting to feel like he can just push down a lane on his own and nobody can stop him. I don't know, maybe cutting creep waves with... again, the Drow Ranger here can just kind of like spam out her Manta style and then send him along this top lane. I don't know.
It's only 2. This is kind of risky.
Again, they jump
Go
forward,
in.
catch, Hex. It's going to be good for the moment at least. The Earth Spike follow-up. Oh, there's still so much trouble. Chronosphere, oh, the blink away. What a freaking guy. They break their Chronosphere for that. And now Gabby again separating from the rest of his team. Where are they at? They're all backing out. Well, again, bottom lane is pushing in here, so they need to come deal with this. This is getting very tense, but what are they doing? They need to clear out the top lane now. Oh, come on now, Extremist, you gotta be able to handle that. It looks like they're wrapping around. They've been able to catch onto the Faceless Void. They're TPing in onto the creeps here. Maybe they're gonna be able to finish them off. They get the Hex off as well as the high ground push. Oh god, they end up losing the Warlock though. Buyback stats is currently not available for him. They jump away again, maybe overextending. They're trying to kill off heroes. They do end up being able to finish off the Void.
But the stun.
Oh, the stun from afar. Nicely played. And now only 2 are left. Oh man, it was a valiant effort, but it's starting to feel like it might be all for naught.
Oh, it's done though.
Yeah, Matt is there. They're going to be able to take these so quickly. Oh god, that was so freaking close. It was a moment there where it was like greatness is ready to happen, but they're going straight for their
go for it. Yeah, she's gonna go. Not much point.
All right. She pushes quickly. Do they have a glyph?
I mean, they have backdoor.
They have creeps that are about to come on in. Oh, they move on in. QZ caught up. BKB's now been popped. They have the freezing field as well. Going for it, but this is still going to end up being the Ancient Dead over to the side here. And yeah, they end up losing the game. That was really close. It was a moment there where they could have done it, but it didn't end up working out. I wonder if, like, Drow, when Nature's Prophet was going for his push, if she would have, like, sold a couple of items and then bought bots, if that would have made the difference. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Kind of felt like that was their last real opportunity to win the game, but it was such a long shot. Worth it, totally worth it. I completely agree with the play, but it's really